What's going on, everybody? We're happy to be back another week here on The Focus. Thank you all for tuning in. Got another special episode for you guys tonight. That being said, Octavia, I know you're extremely happy.
You know
We've
it.
thoroughly enjoyed your NFC East segment. So the floor is yours.
Definitely. So, like I said, in the trend, I'm going to keep it going from the bottom to the top. So, of course, NFC East this week, we had the Giants facing the Broncos. And, Cardell already looked at me crazy when I walked in. But let me just tell y'all, Giants actually got their first win, 23-10. Their next game is going to be against the Seahawks. It's more so for me, like even watching the game, to me, it didn't feel like the Giants won. It just felt like the Broncos lost. There's plenty of opportunity for the Broncos to win. It was kind of offsetting. Like, I don't know what happened. I will say that the Giants did get their running game back a little bit. Darkwa finished with 21 carries for 117 yards. Eli Manning didn't throw an interception. That's a surprise. He ended up finishing 11-19, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. One note, Ben McAdoo gave up play calling to the offensive coordinator, and they won. So maybe something to look forward in the future. But yeah, they'll be they play next week against the Seahawks, so we'll see what happens with that as well. They're still probably going to lose, but who knows? The NFL is crazy, as you can tell. Third in the NFC East, the Cowboys, they're on a bye. They're 2-3 right now. Their next game is against the 49ers. Of course, everybody's talking about Elliott, suspended, not suspended. Right now, it's been pushed back again because the judge is on vacation. So that's that. Yeah. The Redskins, second in the NFC East, squeaked past the 49ers this week, 26-24. I was pulling for the 49ers to get their first win against the Redskins. Definitely needed that. But, I'll say Kirk Cousins was 25 of 37, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He rushed for 26 yards on 4 carries as well. He's still having a hard time connecting with the receivers a lot, so Chris Thompson held him down a lot, got them in the end zone, although Doxson also got a touchdown as well. Defense was holding up well as well, although they do still have a lot of injuries, especially in the secondary. So we'll see what happens next week. They do play my Eagles next week, primetime Monday night, so I'm definitely excited for that. And it's in Philly.
We couldn't tell.
And at the top of the NFC East, still, it would be my Philadelphia Eagles, 5-1. Just came off an impressive win against the Carolina Panthers, 28-23. I'm going to be completely honest, I was nervous the entire game. Wentz ended up 16-30, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. His second back-to-back 3-touchdown game in his career. He only has 2. Third down conversions are still very, very high. He stays in the pocket, throws the ball. The receivers are catching the ball. Jeffrey, Aguilar, Smith, and, of course, Zach Ertz ended up with 2 touchdowns. I think they say he's like the leading tight end in receiving this year so far. I just say, like, it's impressive on all facets of the game, offense, defense, special teams. Michael Kendricks had 17 tackles. 12 of them were solo. Nigel Bradham was the good. Fletcher Cox came back off of an injury. There was word in the beginning of the game that he wasn't going to play, but he ended up playing. He still isn't even 100% and did amazing. That's pretty much it. Everybody is clicking right now. I'm still nervous. I know I'm nervous every game going forward. I just want to enjoy the one win at a time. So if I go crazy, that's what that is. Next week, we play the Redskins Monday night. If we win this game, y'all will not hear the end of me.
We're perfectly aware. I just wanted to give a quick thank you to the Washington Redskins this week. Brian Hoyer is benched for the rest of the season. C.J. Beathard era has begun. I'm so happy.
My boyfriend, he's a 49ers fan. That's all he's been yelling all season. You put the rookie in. Just forget it. Just put him in and just see what happens.
You don't understand what it means for us. Like, it almost looked like an offense for like a minute. And I know the Redskins defense is, decimated by injuries, but it was just interesting seeing somebody not throw the ball 15 yards short of the sticks on third down. So it was cool.
And be remiss to say that you guys released Navarro.
Yes.
So he already got picked up, of course.
He's in Oakland, staying in the Bay.
Saying he probably didn't even have to move. So
I don't think he did.
Nah, not at all. So that's interesting as well.
Especially with that division.
Exactly. He's with Oakland now.
They got to fix their offense.
Yeah, we already beat them.
We were waiting for the commentary from the resident Broncos.
But I'm done. See you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll still be on top, but we will. But it's cool.
All right, I had a quick little update. Just you guys heard me talking about it the last couple weeks. This is officially the last call for RFK. What DC United has been talking about for this week for you black and red supporters. Saturday, fan appreciation open training starts at 10 a.m. You get to come in, watch training in its entirety. There's a Legends game on Sunday. Some of the Legends will be in attendance on Saturday at training. Again, it starts at 10. Get out there and just enjoy it. It's a great way to kind of end all the wonderful memories of RFK on October 22nd, which is Sunday, it's just a day later. The Legends match is at 1:45. The DC United New York Red Bulls tilt is at 4. So come out, you pretty much get kind of a cool doubleheader. Get a chance to kind of reminisce, soak up some of the memories with some of the players you grew up, and even your parents grew up watching with DC United. So it'll be a cool way to end the season. And after the game, there's going to be a ceremony to officially close DC United's tenure at good old RFK. Also, as always, got to tell you guys, get over to finestmag.com. Get over to mymonosports.com. We got a lot of stuff going for you guys right now. Want to shout out my guy Jalen. This dude went through all 30. Is it 30 or 32 teams in the NBA? Because I always mess it up.
I think it's 30.
30? All 30 teams he knocked out every preview. They're all up. Give it a Finest Mag because it's a big week. We're going to have stuff on Finest Mag, stuff on My Mono Sports, NBA opening week. We're going to be busy. Our week kind of officially starts tonight. Then after that, we're just going to be ripping and running. So we look forward to it. So as always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, you see the gentleman sitting here with us. We're going to tell you a little bit more about him. As soon as we get back, you're watching The Focus.
I'm talking about this all day.
Look, welcome back to The Focus. This is another chance when sometimes if you're not tuning in on social media, you miss so much because The Focus on Twitter, you got a little bit of what happens on the breaks here. Man, things escalated so quickly.
What is going on?
NFC East fans, man, it just went left so quick. It was quiet. And it just... We went to 100 so quick. Octavia's over here shaking her head. She's just... Y'all,
I checked out for the day.
Already? Oh, man. So, that being said, we told you we're going to introduce the gentleman here with us tonight. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Coach is Mount Zion prep assistant coach, Brian Scott. So,
thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
We might have to kick him out. I don't know.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
You not?
No, I am joking. I'm joking.
I'm a diehard NFC East guy, so
that segment touched you in a way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry, my excitement
the last
gets.
segment, I didn't hear anything positive about the Redskins. It was just.
You guys won. That's positive.
Yeah, but it was a gloss over though.
In her defense, you beat my Niners.
So he's saying y'all gassed up. Philly.
I would say that.
I'm just gonna say the season that we're currently in, that's happening right now.
I gotta wait. What's the emphasis with currently? I felt like
Because all this history talk, y'all act like we the only franchise that hasn't won a Super Bowl. We aren't. That's fine. It hasn't happened. Okay. History.
We
are working towards it. We are going to the future.
I give y'all credit. Y'all been there before. Didn't get over the hump.
That is completely true. I don't take any offense to that. That is completely true. We have not won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think this isn't the team that's going to do it, but you guys.
Are the Redskins going to?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, great. Just wondering.
We got a lot to work on right now.
Just wondering. I didn't say we were going to do it either, but I'm looking forward to the future.
Well, I'm going to say this. The NFC East is going to have a hard time winning the Super Bowl this year.
That is very true. I can agree with that.
So I will say that without pointing any fingers at any one team.
My only thing before we get away with this, out of all the teams that might have a chance in the postseason, I think they might be the most balanced out of the division.
I agree.
I think that's a safe thing to say right now because, again, even when the Redskins win this week, and again, my team's been losing, Niners fan, my team been losing all types of close games. There was no reason for us to come back from down 17 with a rookie quarterback. That's unacceptable for where you want to be. And outside of Chris Thompson, there was no offense. Like a lot of them yards look funny to me because again, if you play a different team, and Eagles got those fast linebackers, which is why I'm looking forward to next week. Because Kirk got to do something downfield. You can't do that to every team, and that's my only take on that. I'm gonna leave it alone. That's y'all's division. Y'all work it out.
He can throw it down there. They just got to catch it.
Yeah, that too.
Terrell Pryor, they went out there to get him. He ain't did much this year. Don't get me wrong. He's coming along slowly, but they need him.
There's a lot of inconsistent.
I hope he don't show up next week, but
I need him, Doxson, Reed, Paul, the whole nine, Thompson, everybody.
I love the Doxson kid.
Yeah.
That's my last thing I got to say. I'm gonna fall back. Cardell, the floor is yours.
All right, man, let's get back on track with that. But Coach Scott, one question I wanted to ask, and this would be a lot for the parents too. A lot of people label prep schools, for the players as just, players who come there with bad grades only. Like they need to get their academics in order to be eligible. That's not always the case. What are the reasons a player would go to a prep school and how it benefits them in the long run?
It just depends. There's different reasons why kids do prep. One that you alluded to was academics. That is certainly a reason why kids will come to, go to do a year of prep school. Some of it's development.
Okay.
And a lot of it's exposure. A lot of kids don't play high level basketball, during the summertime or even in high school.
Right.
So, prep gives them that exposure that they need to be able to play in front of college coaches consistently. And even practice in front of them. Believe it or not, this year we've had roughly 50 coaches attend our practices. Right. Not in one day, but during the course of the month. Mm-hmm. So that's an opportunity for them to practice in front of them as well. And academically, yes, you can't be broken academically and go prep. You just have to be maybe half a credit off, maybe credit off, something like that, and or you may need some test scores. Okay. So those are some of the reasons, the broad reasons why people would prep. But you can't not do work for 4 years.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, look,
I'm going to just go prep.
Yeah, I'm just going to go prep. But what's amazing, though? You get kids that come to you, and they say, man, I just want to go prep. And you're like, why? And then they show you their transcripts, and you're like, whoa. I can't do anything with that. So you still have to be academically responsible during your 4 years of high school in order to be able to make prep an option.
Okay. What was the motivation behind yourself and head coach Roger Harrison, coming together to start Mount Zion Prep back in 2011 in the first place?
Well, we were both assistant coaches at Dunbar High School in Baltimore. Okay. We won 4 state championships, a city championship. So we had experienced a lot of success in our short amount of time there. But one of the things we noticed about Baltimore City basketball was a lot of kids weren't qualifying to play college basketball, to play Division I. And so for us, it was just important that we put together a program that focused on getting kids qualified to play college basketball. So we branched off from Dunbar, and we just kind of threw this program up in the air and hope something fell out, and hope something came out of it. And for us, it did. It was good for us.
Okay. For a parent or player who's interested in the program, describe what a daily schedule is like for the player.
For us, it would be it all depends on whether or not you commute or not, because we do have a team house. But just say you were living in the team house. Okay. You would get up in the morning, breakfast would be provided by the team mom. Okay. Then we would go to class. Class would last from 8:30 to roughly 11:30, and that could be SAT, ACT prep for some kids. And if we have a kid that's doing like a course replacement, then they would do that, and they would get academic support at school. Once we completed that, then our kids would go to we had practice in the middle of the day. And we do that because of gym availability. Unfortunately, Mount Zion Baptist Christian School doesn't have a gym, so we just kind of got to get in where we fit in. So we practice from 12:30 to 2:30 every day, 3 o'clock some days, and then we go to workouts. And then after workouts is dinner, and in between school and practice is lunch. But afterwards we do study hall. We go to Morgan State. We have a dedicated computer lab. Okay. So we take the kids down there, and that's where they do their homework and the rest of their studying. So that's kind of like a day in the life.
Oh, wow. Okay. How competitive is the prep level compared to the high school level?
It's really it's really competitive. It's because you got a lot of kids that, I don't know if y'all know this, but a lot of kids always reclassing when they're in the 8th grade.
Right.
7th grade, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them reclass twice. I don't know what's going on with all that. Yeah. But when we get them, sometimes they're 19 years old. So we got a bunch of 19-year-old, 18-year-old kids running around. So it's like a lot of grown men. So when you look at the kind of kids that we're able to recruit, it just gives us a really competitive team. So I guess fast forward that to the rest of the world. You have schools up in New England that have really, really high level programs. The military schools in Virginia, Massanutten, Hargrave, Fort Union, to name a few. They have high level programs. And then you may have a few like ours that do it the right way, and they get the kids too. So our schedule is packed full of just high level games where you may have 15 Division I kids between two teams, and most certainly on the floor you're gonna have 10. You know what I mean? So it's really, really competitive. So you can't be the 12th man on your bench in high school and say you want to prep at Mount Zion and expect to come in and and contribute like right away. You know what I mean?
I got you. Y'all had some strong alums that have came through there, that succeeded doing well at the Division I level, Division II, Tariq Owens, Andre Fox. I remember him from high school. He always been a dog, and what standard does that set for the program when players are kind of eyeing y'all as a choice to come in?
It makes recruiting a little bit easier, and even beyond recruiting, it makes coaching them easier. Because at the end of the day, one person is not going to make or break our program. So you got kids, like you said, like an Andre Fox, like a Tariq Owens. You got kids like that are that have gone on to play Division I. Andre Fox will probably be all-conference player this year. You know what I mean? So you got kids like him. So when you go out and you recruit the other kids, like, hey, look, we got 25 Division I alum. Either you gonna fall in or it's not going to work for you. So that's kind of like how that is for us.
Okay. What are the traits that you guys as coaches look for in a player?
Blue collar kids, man. That's all we want. We don't need all of the extra stuff that comes along with some of these high level kids. We just want a kid that's going to come in, work hard, play hard, buy into what we want as coaches. Because at the end of the day, we're not just developing basketball players, we're developing young men. Right. So you got to have that blue-collar mentality. Because if you come in with 5 stars and you acting prima donna and all that, then we don't want to deal with it.
Okay. Let's talk about this year's team. Who are you looking at to kind of pick up the mantle as leaders for the team? I know about Andre Ruffus. He played at Roselle up in
Roselle Catholic. Then he went to Lake Clifton last year.
Right. So I know that's one. So who are the guys you kind of looking at like to lead the team?
Certainly Andre. Andre's a big piece, 6'9", can shoot the ball. We got Tyler Foster, who played at Middleburg, but prior to that, he played at Gilman, so he's a Baltimore kid, 6'5", 6'6" combo. Then we have Jaden Sadler. Jaden Sadler, he's like the third in line to his brothers. One of his brothers was he'll probably be a Delaware University basketball player, a Hall of Famer. And his brother, his second brother, older than him, is at Nicholls State.
Okay.
So he still has an older brother playing Division I, and he's certainly a Division I talent as well. He played at St. Benedict's for his junior year and part of his senior year, and then we went and recruited this kid named Trace Young, out of Kentucky, 6'9", left-hand kid, has a really, really high ceiling. And kind of to bring it back home, we got a kid Tariq Johnson, who's from Eastern Shore. He actually played at Parkdale for a little bit. Then he moved over to the Eastern Shore and kind of dominated over there. And our last kid would be this kid, Kent Eskridge, out of Atlanta. So we got about 7 guys we're leaning on. Really hadn't picked which one's going to be our captains, but we're leaning on about 7 guys to kind of direct us in that right way.
Okay. And my final question for you, what are your expectations this season?
I'm a realist, man. I tell the kids 30-0 because that's what I want. I want undefeated. We always got to exceed our best or our last best, so to speak. But I just want us to play in the National Prep Championship.
Right.
I want us to compete for a championship. I want all my kids or all our kids to play Division I basketball or play college basketball. Let me say it that way. And that's really my biggest expectation, man. If they come in and they work hard, then they'll accomplish their goal. They'll accomplish their goal and their dream. So that's it, man. I'm simple when it comes to that,
Oh, yeah, I see. Got anything, bro?
I had a question, and I checked something out, and I'm sorry. So Gordon Hayward's off the floor already.
I was going to tell y'all, but I was trying to hold it to myself.
Like he might have broke his leg.
He might be done.
They're not sure yet.
It's not even the end of the first quarter.
Wow.
Like 5 minutes into the game. Oh, wow.
Yeah, stretcher and everything. He's going straight to the hospital.
That takes kind of some buzz off tonight.
I didn't see the play, but
Nah, they didn't pop it up yet. Just
I'm thinking it's to the point where they're just not going to play it. Because you remember, like, with Paul George, when he had that injury, like, they played it, and they was like, all right, we're not going to keep playing this because it looked that bad. But I don't know. I haven't seen a replay yet.
I don't know.
Definitely gonna check it out after the season.
You said what, Cardell?
I mean, after the show, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, just.
They got you all discombobulated.
Nah. Because, I mean, like, it's 5 minutes. I'm just scrolling Twitter, and all I see is, oh, no. So, wow. I don't have, wow. I'm sorry, Coach.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I understand. You know,
Wow.
Sports never stop.
never does. Never
I
does.
was casually see there was an update on the Ezekiel Elliott situation, and that's what I saw instead.
Well, they said he could play Sunday. They said he playing Sunday.
That's crazy going back and forth with it.
Oh, man.
Just stretch it out longer so he can miss both our games. That's cool.
You back on this again?
I'm sorry.
Do we have anything else from you two with the NFC stick?
No. I'm done. I promise.
I am. I'm done.
Coach, we want to thank you so much. You're not going anywhere. So
Nah.
we got a lot to talk about for the rest of the show. We'll be right back. You're watching The Focus. Welcome back, everybody. Look, it's okay. Welcome back to The Focus. Cardell just had a great conversation with Coach Scott. So again, thank you for being here, Coach.
Thanks a bunch. I appreciate you guys.
Shedding some insight to the prep level. So we truly appreciate that. We were just talking again through the breaks. You guys miss a lot. As Cardell was just saying, this is why you can't ever predict yeah.
Sorry, we're catching up on the replays in
It
here.
look rough, don't it?
Yeah,
it looks really rough.
Hey, what you just heard was what we.
Yeah,
Cardell just saw a video.
No,
So.
the players like walked away and looking in the crowd. So,
That's what I said. Like when I looked, everybody was like this. Like the crowd was all standing up, like, and then like LeBron was sitting on a little table
Everybody
and was
praying.
like this, like, oh God.
Even that's Paul George. Oh man.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why they're not gonna keep playing that replay.
Sean Livingston over again, man.
Like,
That's the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's what that kind of remind me of, a little Sean Livingston thing.
I'm
man.
definitely not watching it if the first thing you said is Sean Livingston.
Yeah, that was my first thing.
I'm never gonna remember it. Like I'm never gonna forget seeing that on TV. Tuned in, I was like, for like 5 minutes, I couldn't believe what I saw.
I always heard about it. I never looked because everybody said it was so
Yeah.
bad.
No,
that
don't.
I saw Paul George's live and I was like,
Nah, that Sean Livingston make you like, man, I'm gonna pick up in this. I don't know sports. For like a second, you like, I don't know sports for me, man. Like, but he bounced back, so that's good.
Man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you always want injury, man. It's hard. It's hard to win, man. That's why you gotta give him full credit. It's luck involved. Dealing with all that. What if that happened to KD? Knock on wood. I don't want that to happen. What if that happened to Steph or somebody? Or Carmelo or Russell.
Hey.
I don't.
What you mean? Hey. You've been a fan for like 5 minutes talking about.
time out. He didn't say Thunder. He said Carmelo. So let's get this straight.
You feel our pain, man. You feel our pain.
So you a Carmelo fan?
I am.
Yeah.
She's been a lifelong Knicks fan until like the trade.
Okay.
No, actually, I was a Nuggets fan.
She's
Oh, my
a
bad.
Melo fan.
My bad.
I am a
apologize.
Melo fan, and I do not.
So you was with Syracuse when you.
I've been a Melo fan since he was in high school.
So you were okay on Towson Catholic.
All that.
God, Team Melo AAU. That's your favorite AAU.
That's the only one that exists.
Hey, I'm loyal.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hey, look,
And I don't. I tell you, I don't try to sugarcoat it. Be like, no, I won't be. No, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Yes. If he goes to another team, hey, hope that team wins. I want him to win a championship eventually.
That's gonna be
Don't know if
tough.
it's gonna happen. And I'm gonna be
West
real
gonna
about that.
Yeah,
Don't know
gonna
if
be
it's
tough.
actually gonna happen. He may end up being one of those stars that just never got one. It is what it is, but I
there's
pray.
many greats
Who
who did
gives
it.
y'all the toughest game on the prep? All I'm saying is it Brewster? Is it Hart? Who's giving y'all the
Oh
toughest
man,
game?
shoot, Brewster. We haven't beaten them yet.
Wow.
Hargrave, man, I think they brought us down for one of their. They had a cancer true story. They had a cancer, breast cancer awareness game.
Mm-hmm.
So A.W. Hamilton at the time, he's at NC State now,
Right.
but he was the head coach, and he called me up, was like, Coach, you want to come down and play in this game? We'll take care of everything, food, the whole nine. So I was like, man, I'm not going to pass up a game where we can, they don't take care of everything. So we went down there, man. They had this pink on down to the shoes. Man, I thought they had not kryptonite. I thought they had kryptonite for us. They were like Superman. I don't think they missed a shot, man. And that game was shown live. So you got kids that want to come to Mount Zion. They looking at the score. That thing's like 135 to 85. Oh, wow. We just couldn't get right, and that was kind of like the most humbling experience for me as a coach, because I'm like, I've never been on the end of a 50-point loss as a player or a coach, and I was just like my mind was just like, guys, how did we let this happen? But long story short, Hargrave, Massanutten, the ones I called out earlier, we always battle, but there's some teams up there, Brewster, that we haven't beaten yet, but we'll get our crack again because we play them on, I want to say November the 19th.
Avail here.
We play them actually at the National Prep Showcase up in New Haven, Connecticut.
Hey, Connecticut.
Yeah, so we'll be up there. It's an invitation-only tournament. Okay. So we'll be up there and we'll play them. So it'll be another opportunity. Okay. You know what I mean? That's all.
Are they playing up at a school up there? Or are they playing at the arena in Bridgeport?
No, we actually play at Albertus Mangus. It's a Division 3 school up there. Yep.
Okay.
So it usually attracts over the course of 3 days probably about 100 to 150 coaches. So it's a place you want to be. You know what I mean? Give your kids opportunity. I mean, we had a kid last year that had 0 recruits, zero scholarship offers. After that tournament, Georgia, Purdue, everybody started calling. So this kid, he's at Georgia now, and he's competing for a starting point guard spot for him. So, I mean, it's a good opportunity for kids if you go up there and play well.
It's a great example of what you were just talking about, that exposure. All right, well, we want to welcome Sean Couch to the show. I'm so sorry. How you doing? Hello? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Sean?
Good, how you doing?
Good, fellas. I just got back from Chi-Town doing some business, some scouting, so wanted to hop on, be on time, and just chop it up with you guys.
Hey, man, appreciate you coming on, Sean. The first question I have for you is, how did the freshman sophomore training showcase? How did all that come about? What made y'all want to do it in the first place?
Well, you know what? Just for a little background, my father, James Couch, started outdoor training in New York City back in 1962. We grew up in a place that people know now, Dykeman Projects. They know the Nike Dykeman tournament now. That's probably as, or if not more popular than the Rucker tournament here in New York City now. And that park was where my father started his first outdoor training session. And one of his first students was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, this tradition of training and working with kids on a level where they don't have to pay for it, and that give back has just been something that we've always done. And, I say about 7 years ago, we all got together and we, as Dykeman alumni, we wanted to do something for my dad. We wanted to keep his tradition going. So, with some friends and some other people that grew up in our organization, we started the Jim Couch National Training Showcase in that honor of, outdoor training, giving kids an opportunity to showcase their skills, getting that give back with individuals who have, either pro-level experience, college-level experience, and just sharing, their experiences that they've received from their coaches, from their influencers with the community. And that's how it started.
Okay, and Sean, what made, Jim Couch, James Couch, what made him stand out as a coach from other coaches where all these players wanted to come and learn from him?
Well, I'm going to tell you a funny story, man. So, where we're located in New York City is considered Washington Heights, Inwood. It's like right above Harlem.
Okay.
And, back in the day when the Rucker tournament was like really big and it was the only outdoor tournament on the younger levels, it was Harlem-based. So my dad had a team in that tournament, and it was a team, but we not only did we have brothers on it, but we had Hispanics, we had Italian kids, we had Irish kids, because that was the makeup of our neighborhood. So when we used to come down there, brothers are like, oh, man, these guys can play. So, like, one of the things that he was about was just bringing people together. Right. And, he was a CO at Spofford Juvenile Detention Center in the Bronx. That's where, juveniles with, like, hardened criminal activity went. So he's always been in the community trying to help kids and also, to bring people together, in means that at the time were unconventional. So the Rucker people were impressed with him, and they said, listen, we'd like to extend the tournament up into your neighborhood. So in 1972, the Holcomb Rucker tournament came uptown to Dykeman Park, and for the first time in that area, we had like a neighborhood tournament. So, he's known for putting people together and, giving all people an opportunity, regardless of color, creed, race, and he's also regardless of skill level. He just wants people to be safe and have an opportunity to receive elite training and feel elite.
Wow, that's big time. The showcase has been a huge springboard for so many players. Features 33 ESPN top 100 ranked players over the years, like Thon Maker with the Bucks, Marcus Derrickson from the area, who's with Georgetown, played up all the six, and Brewster, the Texas freshman Mo Bamba, who's in the number one pick discussion, along with Duke freshman Wendell Carter and UNC freshman Gillette Felton, to name a few. Tell us the unique approach to development for this event with the focus on nutrition and recovery, along with the skill work, how it aided these players in the long run.
Yeah, well, it's tough to attract the best players unless there is influence on them that kind of, rubber stamps what we're doing. So the reason why the kids, I feel, are attracted, not only it's New York City, right, but I think they're attracted because they have coaches who understand the value of understanding the competition cycle, Cardell. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When you wake up, you're in competition. Right. There's a kid up here in New York that's in competition with a kid in D.C., which is competition with a kid in Chicago and a kid in L.A. So what's going to differentiate you from that kid? Is it going to be your shooting, your ball handling, your basketball IQ? In some instances, it might be your conditioning. Some instances, it just might be the fit of the programming. Whatever it is, the competition cycle is the way you determine how you're going to rise when you're evaluated on those levels. So, what our showcase does is we break the competition level down, not just on the court, but off the court. And then we ask people to think about, on a circular level, how they get better. So I'll give you an example. You wake up, you have breakfast. What you eating? Are you eating sugary cereal? Are you eating fruit? Are you eating eggs, bacon, and cheese? Whatever you're eating, there's a way that you can supplement your diet to compete so that you're ready to perform at 4 o'clock when you practice. So we have them think about that. We have them think about on a psychological level how to deal with disappointment. So a lot of times what happens, like I'll give you an example. Wendell Carter came, Cardell, and Wendell was horrible the first day of our camp. And he was horrible because he was thinking about too much. He was thinking about the food. He was thinking about he was just thinking about all the stuff we threw at him. So, and also Mo Bamba too. Mo was actually, he graded out of the 32 kids that were there, he was 32 as a freshman. But the thing that they understood and what I liked about them is the second day when they came back, they got better. And that's what the competition cycle is about. It's about understanding the steps that you need to get better on and off the court. And our showcase highlights that through the basketball training, the fitness training, and the nutrition training. So we do that in a way where it's a lot at first, but once they understand how it fits into their day, how it fits into practice, how it fits into after practice recovery, and what food can do for you, what positive thinking can do for you, it builds you and makes you really strong for that competitive cycle that you go through day in and day out.
Man, you said a lot right there.
Yeah. I can talk, man.
Yeah. But it's good information for all our listeners, people watching. They needed that. Trust me. For you, which player has put on the most memorable performance at the showcase that you can recall?
I would say the best performance that I've seen was from Trayvon Duval.
Oh, Duke. Another Duke freshman.
Yeah, back in, and who's a close second wasn't Don Maker. It was actually the kid from Oregon, Peyton Pritchett.
Okay.
Who starting point guard. Those two. As far as Duvall, when he came in as a freshman, that was a very strong class of kids that were there. Jalek Felton was there. Jalek Felton from North Carolina. I'm drawing a blank. Quade Green was in that class also. And, you know, he rose above those kids just in terms of his athletic ability, his ability to shoot off the dribble, and his ability to make shots with multiple people trying to guard him. And I just remember one play, he made an in-and-out move and spun, and he dunked. I believe it was on Mo Bamba. He just dunked on him, just right up, straight up, body to body, just very athletic. And for a ninth grader, you know, at 15 years of age, it was just very impressive. As far as Peyton Pritchard, that was the year before. Peyton played very well. And what impressed me about him was his ability to make quick moves and just pull up. You know, he was catching people off balance because he translated his dribble into a on-balance shot in less than half a second. And, you know, when you're training, one of the things that you want to do for players, you want them to have the suddenness to make moves, but also the strength and the balance to take good shots. And Peyton, at a young age, showed that he could do that. And he was actually the co-MVP of our first game. Actually, it was our second game, you know, with Don Maker. So those two pretty much are my choices.
Okay. You have a couple of high school games that's going to go on. It's not going to just be skill competition and, you know, training and all that. It's actually a couple games. Modern Day, is that Modern Day from Cali?
Yeah, well, sure,
wow.
I wish. No, actually, it's Modern Day from New Jersey.
From New Jersey, okay.
We just had an actual change in the schedule. Unfortunately, the Woodrow Wilson School from D.C., they can't make it. They played down in Philly.
Okay.
Last week, and they had some injuries on that team, so they decided that they were not going to come up to compete. But, yeah, we added the high school showcase because we felt that in order to kind of enhance the team-building aspect, to bring in teams that we felt have the competition cycle under wrap, you know, and I know Woodrow Wilson, I know their coaching staff, they do a great job down in the D.C. area in terms of preparing kids how to play and, you know, getting ready for school. So Mount Vernon has a USA basketball coach that works with the 16U and 17U team. Modern Day High School, New Jersey's Ben Gamble. He was Bob Hurley's assistant for over 25 years.
Wow.
You know, so, yeah, we're picking teams that we respect in terms of building players and understanding how to, you know, compete on an elite level. And not only that, but just also how to, you know, act off the court in terms of social media, in terms of dealing with the student body and, you know, just having a respect for the game and for themselves.
Okay. And
Yep.
When players leave the showcase, what do you hope they take away moving forward?
You know, we always ask our players to take away our main theme. A couple years ago, our main theme was social media. And at the time, while it was building itself, and this was, I would say this was 2014, so that was 3 years ago with social media. And what we were telling them is that as, you know, they progress throughout their careers, whatever they put on social media is going to affect them. And the change between 3 years and now has been, you know, exponential. You know, before I would say maybe 15% of the players or coaches were on social media. Now it's 90% of all college coaches, when they recruit a kid, they're on social media. So what we want them to do is take, you know, our theme together. And our theme for this one is definitely planning for success through nutrition. And the reason why we're picking that as a theme is because we find that our players don't maximize their energy levels through their intake of food. So this year we're really going to emphasize eating right, understanding how to eat well on a budget, using nutritionists in, like the local ShopRite has a nutritionist, utilizing her by giving them their schedule and understanding what their energy and output level is, and then matching that with a food intake that makes sense for them as growing student athletes. So, we feel that's like the next step in terms of what we're doing. And if they can take away something, it could energize and help their chances of gaining a D1 scholarship.
Wow. And as for this event, is it open to the public? And if so, where will it be located for individuals to attend?
Yeah, it's open to the public. Our training sessions are open to the public. It's going to be at 730 Concourse Village West in the Bronx, New York. It's about 10 blocks from Yankee Stadium. It's at the Mott Haven Educational Complex, which is right down the road from Cardinal Hayes High School in New York City. We're going to get started this Saturday, October 21st, at about 2 o'clock. And we're going to train for 3 hours, and then we're going to scrimmage in the night, and then we have our games on Sunday. Cardell, we have our high school scrimmage showcase, and then we have the national freshman and sophomore games, and then we end it with a regional high school game, and that's going to be Mater Dei against Mount Vernon.
Okay.
All right, I had one quick question for you. You dropped so much insight already, but just one more quick question. You mentioned Mo Bamba at that time that he came in that, at first he was 32 out of 32, and we look at where he is right now. What's that feeling for you when you see somebody who comes in kind of at the back of the pack find their way to the front?
Oh, yeah. You know what? You got to love it because, I remember him sitting there during the game. He's watching Don play. He's watching, all these other kids play. And, I sat next to him. I said, what you thinking right now? And he said, I got to get better. And, for him to understand that he had to get better and the way that he said it, I was so proud of him because he didn't say it like, like I got to get better. He said it like, I got to get better. You understand the tone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's like, I got to get in the gym and do my thing. I got more to do. And, he took it that way. Wendell Carter took it that way. When I saw Wendell sitting on in the hotel the night after the first, our training, he was sitting there with his father. He looked like he was in a daze. I was like, Big Wendell, what's wrong with you? He was like, Coach, I couldn't do nothing. I was like, Wendell, you here to understand how to compete. All right, we gonna get this right. You're gonna come back better tomorrow. So it's all about understanding that one day doesn't make, a victory. It's the grind of competing. So I'm proud of both of them because they understood, like, on a level that it was very mature and very upbeat. It was like, yeah, I got to get better, not, why are they doing, they didn't blame anybody. It was me getting better. So, for me, that's what we want to instill from the showcase. Take away our drills, take away our information, get in the gym, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to your uncle, talk to grandma, whoever you're staying with, and say, here's my plan. This is what I got to do. I got to eat this way. I got to train like this. I got to, do these metrics here so that I can get to this level. And if they do it on their own, guys, we're going to have more players that push that envelope from, the D1 envelope and then the high D1 envelope. And then eventually, we could build some NBA guys that contribute to their communities on an economic level and come back. And that's what this is about, to come back into the community and do the right thing for the next generation. And that's what we talk to our players about, being community-oriented and empowering your community with your hard work and then sharing it. So, we're hoping that as these young players, we have Thomas Bryant, who came from our game, Check Diallo came for our game, Steve Zimmerman. He was just recently cut, but I think he just got picked up in the D-League. Those are 3 kids who are now in the NBA. We're hoping that as they progress and they become NBA players, that they understand how to, feed into that cycle and get more players, better and thinking about, being elite in their habits.
All right, well, I just want to say thank you so much for calling in. Secondly, commend you on the job. I appreciate anybody, and Coach Scotty as well, that takes time to give back to the youth. That is a job that sometimes doesn't get appreciated nearly enough. We hope you have a great event this week, and we look forward to what Cardell comes back with next week in terms of footage and whatnot from the event. So you have a great one. Thank you so much for calling in, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you very much. Cardell he has an all-access pass, so he'll be able to go everywhere and do whatever he wants, and we'll welcome him and have a good time.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to it. Have a good one. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody. Stack show tonight. Coach, just want to any early indication? I saw you nodding your head a lot. When Sean was talking. Anything that stood out to you?
Man, just preparing the kids, like with the being multifaceted and how they're working to get kids prepared to play high level basketball. Like, so many people think it's just basketball. I mean, you have to fuel your body, you have to train your body, you have to train your mind. So everything he said, I was shaking my head because I'm like, that's the stuff that we try to teach our kids, and to have an outside organization focus on that. That's a great thing. And his alum was crazy. I mean, the people he named out, Jalik Felton, Thomas Bryant, Check Diallo, Mo Bamba. I mean, these kids, these were all high-level kids. And, to Mo Bamba's credit, he didn't start out that way underneath his program, but he didn't give up. So, that was great. That was a great.
All right, Cardell, I know you're looking forward to it this weekend.
For people that don't know, that was my former boss when I used to write for Dime Magazine, The Bounce. So, I knew about the history with him. Matter of fact, he was a draft pick with the Pacers in '87 with Reggie Miller class and all that. So, he got cut early in the year, but, he made, he was a 6'1" power forward at Columbia, you know what I mean? Like, but that just tells you the pedigree he comes from, like with his father, developing so many great players from New York, and why, like he's credited with teaching Kareem the skyhook, which became the most deadliest weapon in NBA history. So, he brought me on board for this event to be the DMV scout, so I'm definitely going to be in the PYBL more and stuff like that, trying to keep an eye on these kids because they don't understand. I know in this area they don't really know, but I'm like, man, you go out there and you perform. You're not on a college radar. You on a high-level college like the Dukes and the Kentucky. They're going to start paying attention because of they trust that pedigree. That's decades of excellence. That ain't just now. He's since the 60s, man. He done seen it all. Everybody done came through this, especially in New York. Pearl Washington, Kenny Anderson. We can go on. Anthony Mason. We can go on. So, that pedigree and I love what they're doing. That's why I said, yeah, I'll be a scout. Add more to my time. I have less time for me, but, yes, because they represent what I believe basketball is all about. They do it the right way. No excuses. Come in and put this work in, but also take, these little gems with you that will help you not just be better as a player, but as you grow into a man as well. So, the results speak for itself. So, yeah, I'm on board. I'm going to try to make sure it has a, heavy influence here in the DMV, so to speak, because we need more of these kids to go up there and just get away.
Yeah.
But get taught the right way by getting away and, come back better, ready to hoop. So, I love it.
All right, we got a couple minutes left. As we mentioned earlier with the Hayward injury and everything, it's NBA opening night. We're looking forward to it. Wizards Sixers tomorrow night. We talked at length on the way in. Again, I wish you guys could be privy to some of these conversations, but we can't have you guys around all the time. So we're looking forward to tomorrow night for Washington kicking off their season. Philadelphia, it's going to be a lot of talent on the floor tomorrow night at Capital One Arena. So just share,
a lot of local talent too.
Yes, a lot of local talent, which is awesome. You get Markel back in town. JJ Redick's coming back kind of to the area, Virginia kid. Justin Anderson. It's going to be fun just to see, again, I know a lot of people, some people, not us here, but some people, kind of like the masses, somewhat kind of giggling and laughing at Embiid's extension, last week when, again, read a couple articles today. You heard JJ Redick talking about there's a lot of people behind the scenes stamping this kid. There's a reason that he got that extension. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to see it on a consistent basis, but that's not an indictment on his talent. If anything, that's only added that's added confirmation to his talent. That with 31 games, they just want to have you, an opportunity to have you.
Look, man,
they locked you in.
I said last week, there's a lot of players that play every game. that don't do what he does. So, and they play every game. So it's just like, you know, I'm pretty sure they got an out clause, you know, to make it fair, but he's worth that. You know, we saw it last year in preseason. We was like, man, they can't do nothing with it. And he's bigger than what he's listed. He's literally like 7'2".
Yeah.
Doing that. He's a problem, man. If he stay healthy, man, I'm trying to tell you, he's easily gonna be the best big man in the league. Easily, like he's like a mix from the throwback back to, you know, back in the 80s, 90s to now. Step out, shoot threes. He's a problem, man. And I mean, look. They better pray he keep getting hurt. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a problem.
Man, I'm just happy the NBA's back. You know, everybody's excited tonight. But you know, we get to see Washington. A lot of people thought some of their, you know, they didn't have an exciting offseason to some as far as the signings go. But you know, development's kind of a big thing. That's what you want. People in the house to get better. That's what Washington's counting on. We've seen it all preseason. You guys been following along with us. They did. You know, the people in the building did get better. So, you know, if you have in-house getting better, you don't need outside help. You know, if everybody continues to take steps forward. So we can't wait. There's 2 games this week. So thank you for tuning in tonight. Tune in with us tomorrow. Cardell and I be at Capital One Arena. We're going to go live on social before the game, sharing our thoughts as usual. Same thing for Friday night when they take on the Pistons. And then, you know, next week, same time, same place. And Coach Scott, thank you so much for coming in.
Appreciate you guys for having me. Thanks a bunch.
One quick thing. We'd be remiss if we ain't shout out Quinn. Got picked up again. He's going to be with the Warriors this year, so shout out to him.
On a 2-way contract with the G League. I keep wanting to say the D League, but the G League now. So I mean, congratulations to him just for sticking to it. I mean, it's a grind. You know, there was a list that came out today. I forgot who put it out. I think I saw you post it. With a list of players that were in the league last year that aren't on the league this year. Like, I don't think everybody fully understands how much of a grind it is and how hard it is to stick.
And how hard it is to get back, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, even, because I commented on it, and I was like, I could have sworn I just heard that Trey Burke got picked up.
He did.
And he did. And literally, like, 2 days later, like, he didn't even play, and he got released. I was like, dang, I swore I just heard that.
Look at Kendrick Perkins. He has a championship, you know what I'm saying, with the Celtics, and he got to go fight his way back through the G League. It's
tough.
The league, no joke, man. Everybody think it's sweet up there.
But I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. As always, get over to findersmac.com, get over to mymountainsports.com, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.